let's do another one of these. Another ESkate review. Shredlights. Title says it all. These are so right now in front of me, I have the new SL-200 Shredlights, and I'm really excited for these. And if you know anything about like lighting on boards and Shredlights in general, you should be excited about these too. But you know, just first disclaimer, I am an ambassador for Shredlights, so they did send me these for free. And I'm not an ambassador, you know, just willy-nilly or anything. I'm an ambassador because I do really trust their products and I like what they do. So, but today I'm going to be, you know, as I always do, I try to give you guys an honest review of all the things that I try out. And it's going to be the same for this and any other future companies that, you know, I'm working with or, you know, affiliate or ambassador with. I always try to give you the true reviews. All right, these are the, again, SL-200s. These are the new Shredlights. They are, man, they are much more improved from the old versions, let me tell you. Let me, I guess, give you a history lesson first. When Shredlights were invented, they were created for normal, traditional skateboarding, for, you know, skaters to, you know, light their path if they're skating at night. And all of a sudden, electric skateboards became really popular, and people started using Shredlights as like, oh, I can, you know, light my path or, you know, alert cars while I'm riding around at night, because, you know, that's what people riding electric skateboards do. So Shredlights got really popular among electric skateboards, and they kind of just shifted their focus towards electric skateboards. But the thing is, they weren't originally designed for electric skateboards. Don't get me wrong, they worked like fine, they worked. There's just some issues. They weren't bright enough, and there are a lot of reports of, you know, the lights falling off. And, you know, that happened to me too, you know, especially as an ambassador. I really trust their products, but, you know, the one issue that I'm not afraid to, you know, talk about their old models, which are right here, by the way, these are their old models, that is that they sometimes fell off. I usually don't have a problem with the front ones, but the rear ones, especially my boosted board, they had to keep reiterating the like mount designs, but they used to fall off for me a lot. And then usually Shredlights is cool enough, they send you a new one, but you know, that's an issue. They're pretty tiny and lightweight, but they worked fine, and they were probably the most convenient securing method of like putting a light on an electric skateboard. And I think that's still true even with their older ones. Like there's no catch-all mounting system for lights. Like I'm sure there's gonna be people out there who maybe are riding like other boards, maybe like Cali boards, and they have these really bright, like whatever, 800 lumens lights that may be cheaper, maybe more expensive, but they're much more brighter. But the thing is, like, they don't mount to everything. Not everyone can use those. So if you can use one of those bright lights, that's good on you. And you know what? If it works, right? But Shredlights, they're designed for all boards. All right, so history lesson aside, these are the new and improved SL-200s. Right here, I have the headlights, and these are the taillights. They're only indicated by, there's like a little orange strip here versus a black strip. And these are the boxes they come in. There's probably footage of me sort of quickly unboxing them. Yeah, I mean, so in the box, of course, you get the lights. You get some charger. As all Shredlight boxes do, they come with these like dual micro USB chargers, and they are still micro USB. I know a buddy of mine was complaining that they didn't use USB-C, but you know, what are you gonna do? What else is in the box? It comes with, I think you get to choose what mounts you get, but you get this little like pamphlet about all the different mounts that come with it, and what it mounts with. So let me just read this off, just so, you know, giving you some information about what different mounts are used for, you know, different boards. So you have your standard mount, and this fits on all front board trucks. So moving on the list, we have the angled mounts. These will fit behind all boosted longboards, V1, V2, Plus, and Stouts. These are the extended ones. These are really big. These fit behind all your Evolve boards, Boosted Mini, or Raptor 2, and the Riptide. And last but not least, these flat mounts here. And these would work on your, you know, normal, probably hub motor boards, such as the X-Way, Mellow, Meepo, Wowgo, Backfire, and Own board. Again, all these special mounts are mostly used for rear truck setups for your taillights. And when they sent me these mounts, they also included this little hat clip. I think you attach it to your hat. Good thing I'm wearing a hat right now. And then you can actually attach a light here, which also important. I forgot to mention that maybe this will be useful if you're not boarding, but if you are boarding, helmet mounts. If you buy the action pack for the SL-200, they'll give you these mounts for your helmets. And what you can actually do is they'll give you this little mount. It's literally just a GoPro mount. This is 3D printed. I think it's a prototype, so when they actually ship, it'll probably be metal like this. So, but this will essentially be what it looks like. Actually, I'll take it off. This is the mount. You just attach it right to this GoPro clip thing. Secure it. Easy. Oh, here's the locking mechanism. May as well show you now. It basically locks right into this thing. I don't know if you could hear that click, but, and then you take your helmet, boom, right there. You got a headlamp. You have the rear lamp, another GoPro mount, right there. Oh, there you go. That is headlamp, tail light, right on your helmet. This is probably the most effective way to signal cars. Since it's head level, cars will see you when they're driving behind you, cars will see you when they're driving in front of you. And yeah, if you're on like a budget, I'd probably just get the helmet mounts because the board mounted lights are lower, so it's harder to see those, but it'll probably help you see a bit more at night. Which brings me to the actual brightness and I guess the changes of the SL-200s compared to the old version ones. These are bright. They are much brighter than the old ones. The old ones were 80 lumens max. Now, that doesn't really sound like a lot, right? But now, these are 200 lumens, more than 2 times brighter, and they last longer, even at the highest brightness. I think these, even at 80 lumens, it's really tiny. It only lasted maybe 2 hours max before it sort of died out. These now last 3 hours or more if you bring it to middle mode. Middle mode's actually 100 lumens, which is already brighter than the old ones. I think I'll probably put a chart up on screen to show you like the battery life. But the other day I actually did a test. I just kept these lights on, both the headlight and the tail light. I just kept them on for 8 hours. And would you believe that the headlamp actually stayed on for the entire 8 hours? And actually, when I ended the test, it was still on. But when I say on, it's literally wimpiest dying light. So realistically, you have 3 hours of actual bright headlight where you can actually see the road and really it shoots really far. After 3 hours, it sort of dies down. You can switch it to the flashing mode and it would still alert cars, but you might just not be able to see the road that well. These, however, the taillights are lower lumens max, I think, because you don't really need the 200 lumens of the taillight because you're not using the taillight to help you see. You're using these to alert cars behind you or anybody behind you. So these are at lower lumens, I think probably around 100 lumens, like the middle mode for the headlight. This stayed at the highest brightness for the entire 8 hours. I tested it with my other fully charged taillight and they were both the same brightness. So the taillight you barely need to charge, right? If you could probably, how long are you actually riding at nighttime? Maybe 2-3 hours. You could probably take these for at least 3 rides before you have to charge them at night. So that's really cool. The headlights, not so much. You probably have to charge them still every time you get back. But the great thing is now you don't have to take them off your board. The micro USB port is on the outside and you can keep them attached on your board and charge them at the same time. For me, I still take them off because where my plug is, the micro USB cables don't reach up there and I have a USB hub like charging spot anyway. So that's a great improvement because a lot of people have complaints that, I have to take out the Shredlight every time to charge it and it doesn't last that long. And it's a hassle to take off because if you look at the old ones, they are kind of annoying to take on and off because it's like this rubber thing. You have to push it in so the other side can fit in, almost basically stretching the rubber. And because you're stretching the rubber so many times, you have to take it on and off to charge it. That, you know, makes the rubber weaker and likely to fall off. And that was the main flaw of the old ones. That doesn't exist anymore because now you have a locking system that, you know, it's locked in place. To take it off, you just lift and then pull out, and that's it. It's super simple and really ingenious, honestly. So let me talk about what I've actually experienced, and honestly, most of what I've experienced has been good. Like, you know, I had all my lights on, attached all my lights to my boards, and they're super bright. Like, you know, I've been riding around with the old Shredlights for a while, and, you know, honestly, those got the job done for me. Even, like, I could see for the most part with those lights, but these, they shoot the light so much farther out, and you can see more of the road. Including, if you have, like, the headlamp, too, that's even more brighter now, so you can even sort of extend how far you can see with that. One of my favorite features, actually, is one of the flashing modes for the taillights. The old ones used to have basically solid, lower, and flashing. But now with the lights, you have 6 different modes, 3 solid lights and 6 different flashing modes. And my favorite flashing mode is actually this burst mode. I like this mode because it's sort of, if you have 2 of them together, it sort of blinks in a weird pattern that has to get the attention of anybody behind you. And I really like that because it also uses less battery, which will extend the taillights even farther. On their website, they claim that these lights on that mode can last 150 hours. And you don't have to charge these, like, almost ever. So that would be great. It's less things to charge. There are some things I do want to mention though. I think one of my lights was shaky. There's something loose inside. I contacted Shredlights about this, and I was told it's just a battery, but their second batch of lights will be more secure. I can't actually get it to shake anymore. So maybe it secures in place sometimes. Let me check all the lights. Yeah, no, for some reason they're not shaky anymore. But even if it is shaky, I don't think it's a problem, at least not in my experience. There was one issue that I was out for a ride. I think I rode maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours. That one of my front lights, it turned off by itself, but then if I spam the on button, it turns back on. I don't know what that was. I told Shredlights about it. They told me to keep them posted, but it seems similar to how like the old lights, when you would run out of batteries, they would turn off by itself and turn back on. I don't know if that's the same. I don't know if that's the same issue. But even if it is, it seems to be working fine now. After I plugged it in, it would stay on. So it seemed to only be an issue at the moment. So lastly, I guess we'll talk about the price. The price is a bit more expensive than the old ones. I think about $20 more. If you bought the combo pack, I think it used to be $80 for the old lights. Now, if you buy the combo pack, I think it's $100. And now you are getting a much better light. You're getting 4 lights, 2 200 lumen lights, and 2, I forgot, I'm gonna say 100 lumen rear lights. You're getting high quality products. And I forgot to mention, they do feel really high quality. I said earlier that these feel light and you wouldn't, you would kind of expect them to maybe fall out eventually. These feel really high quality. They're heavy and they're built nicely. I mean, just take a look at that compared to these old ones. And they're bigger, even though it doesn't look that much bigger when you attach them on. So for the price, they're good lights. Since I am an ambassador, I can get you guys 10% off on Shredlights and anything in their store. So if you want 10% off, if you are interested in these lights, go into the description. There will be a code or a link that will get you 10% off anything on their website. If you need lighting, which you do if you're riding at night, it's almost essential for your safety to have lights either on your board or on your person. Like, these are really effective, especially if you have different boards, which I did want to show you briefly, the ability to put them on different boards, because this is where these lights excel over other lights. Alright, so here's my boosted board. Front lights. And my mounts, these are the standard mounts for the front ones. It snaps right in. 1, 2, easy, doesn't move. Right? Now if I had another board that I want to use the lights on, say my Riptide here, you can install the same mounts and it's so much easier. To take them off, again, lift this, push out, easy. Lift this, push out, easy. And then take your other board, Riptide, same thing. It just fits right in, comes out as easy as it goes in. So these lights are a vast improvement to the old ones. So, should you buy these lights? That's the question that you're probably wondering. If you have the original Shredlights and they are doing you well, you feel like they're doing the job, you haven't lost them yet, I say you can keep them, and a lot of people feel the same. If they work, they work. But if it's not doing the job for you, if you want to see farther, you know, if you're riding fast and you want to see farther, or you just don't have lights at all, these are what you want to get. These are the easiest solution for lighting for your board, or even, you know, mounting it onto your helmet. It's basically hassle-free, especially the helmet. Like, I really like the helmet mounts because they're easy. They give you the adhesive that you need. You just plop on the adhesive to your helmet and you're good to go. You just put on your action mount and you have instant lighting. So as always, at the end of the day, it is personal preference about what lights you want to get. But, you know, for me, I really like these and I will recommend them to people because they are the easiest solution for lights. And now that they're much more improved and brighter and safer, like, it's almost a no-brainer when it comes to a all-encompassing light mounting system for your electric skateboards. This will do it all, basically. That's the main attraction of these, is that they fit on any board you essentially want. Granted, you have the correct mounts, but you know, that's where you have to do your research on your end to make sure that, you know, you're buying the correct mounts for your board specifically. And the mounts are cheap. I think they're a couple bucks. So if you have multiple boards, a couple bucks, and boom, you have lights on both or all your boards. Yeah, so I mean, that's basically it. If you have any questions, always, again, drop them down below. If you like the video, like. If you really like my content, sub. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.